Hi, this is Steve Caldwell, and today we're going to define the port hierarchy definition of Bome MIDI Translator Pro. When you open your project, one of the first things you do is define your input and output devices or ports. This definition is at the project level. However, there is a way within Bome MIDI Translator Pro to more finely tune your inputs and outputs within your project. This allows you to optimize where you are sending your output messages, as it may not be either efficient or needed to send all of your MIDI messages to all open ports within your project. To help with this, Bome MIDI Translator Pro has a mechanism to override the project defaults at either a preset or translator level. Doing this can help you reduce MIDI traffic and resolve possible channel conflicts if two MIDI devices, for instance, are on the same channel. Why in the world would I need to worry about a hierarchy? Well, in this example here, this is an actual setup I have in my studio, and there are a number of devices all there, and they're, if I didn't have some kind of hierarchy, everything would go to everything else, and would be a little bit of chaos. So within my project, I really needed to define or more fine-tune what went to what device for each of the presets or translators that I had set up. The picture you see here illustrates the port or device definition hierarchy. In past tutorials, all of our projects have been at the project level. We haven't had to deal with others. However, there is a level where we can override the project level at a preset, and also we can override the project and the preset at the translator level. In general, you should open all your project ports that you will be using at the project level, but then as you define presets, you need to refine those. You might want to override those. So if you're organizing presets, generally major sections, you should override the project in those major sections if they're going to a specific device. All the translators within that level are going to a specific device. And once in a while you need to actually focus a translator specifically for a device, but those would be for exception level type things only. Here are some general tips for how you can manage your ports at different levels. Generally, you want to open everything at the project level initially, and then you can change things very easily across your whole project by changing that at that level. However, in major sections, you might have a given device or something that is managed at the preset level, so you could make broad changes at the preset level, not as broad as the project level, by doing it at that level. And then once in a while you'll get to a situation where a specific translator within a preset or project needs to override everything. Keep in mind, these are guidelines only. There's really no hard and fast rules here. You really need to balance the functionality and usability of your project against the maintainability. I'm now going to illustrate some examples of a project here that's using this. So right now in this particular project level, I've got 3 open ports on the output defined. So if I press a given key, all my output's going to go to all 3 of those ports because I don't have any overrides in set at the preset or the translator level. Now if I go to a preset, and I'm going to go ahead and click on the preset, you'll notice there's properties here where you can use the project defaults or we can override them. In this case, I'm overriding the project defaults with virtual port 2, and you can see if I use it now by doing that override, the output only goes to that virtual port and not the project ports. Again, you can do the same thing if you go at the translator level. I click here, and then you can see I can override the defaults by specifically targeting a given port. Now I press the controller key and it goes out just to virtual port 3. So basically I've overridden all the project defaults using the preset initially in this demonstration and then the translator level. So hopefully this tutorial has been helpful, and thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to visit us at www.bome.com. Thank you.